Okay, part 2. I'm gonna grab some, let's see, some crappy clear, because it's gonna be thrown away, so might as well crappy. I have to give my glass help.
What is this?
I got a rod of crappy or whatever this is, murrini. I might as well turn the torch up if you have some extra oomph to spare, because otherwise this will take until the early morning hours. So the reason I'm adding clear to the front is, you know, you have to have a place for your punty or for your handle to attach to. And if you would just attach your handle in the center of, like in the center square, the whole thing wouldn't pull out as a square. I probably could explain this better, but you just watch it and I'm kind of tired. So I probably should have done something a little bit more simple. It's almost midnight here, so just trust me on this one and add a bunch, as much as possible, of crappy clear to the front of your square or whatever murrini you have. Actually, this is called building up a cap, and you build a cone or pyramid shaped cap in the front of this. So you want to have all the parts of your murrini covered. You don't go over the sides because then you can't use it. So you just add clear to the front part of this and go all the way into the corner, and then build up a pyramid that goes together towards the center.
I know, the two of you were there.
And if you had like a round shape, for example, like a face murrini or a flower murrini or something, then you would build a, what would that be? A cone. The idea is just to cover everything, especially get the corners, so that you can pull that as that shape that you're intending, and then come together with the handle in the center where you can actually hold on to it. And the bigger your clear pyramid or your clear cap is, the less you're going to lose from the finished murrini. So, just keep it warm. There's another noisy part of the movie coming up. Warning. If you're interested in that kind of movie at all, it's actually fun if you get the collector's edition with all the different versions, parts, and then listen to the director's commentary. You learn a really lot about filmmaking, and it's very interesting. The movies get a lot better if the commentary is right, because then all of a sudden you see like why something that you thought was really stupid, why it makes a lot of sense as far as storytelling is concerned.
Yeah.
So far I've used up half a rod of maybe, what's this, 12 millimeter. So making murrini is not a something for people who don't like to use a lot of glass or heat or time or nerves. Maybe that's why we don't see very many murrini in people's beads. It's a hassle to make.
We went to the zoo with all the other children. There's something about being here
Okay, we're getting there. You can also, one second,
Something's not right.
help and take a marver, heat one side of your pyramid,
I must be a terrible person for even thinking so.
and marver it towards the center so that you accentuate or reshape or shape that pyramid a little bit.
I need to talk to someone.
And again, this clear it doesn't matter whether they're bubbles or streaks or anything. This is just to assist you in pulling this.
I need to talk to someone.
Okay. So this is what my little, one second, my cap pyramid looks like. So, what are we going to use? Okay, I'm actually going to use borosilicate for a handle. I have marked this here with a little tag. So I do have borosilicate. I don't like it, but I have it. And so you heat up the borosilicate, but you really heat the core of this pyramid. Very, very hot. And then, let's see what would be the best angle to show. And then you take your borosilicate and you shove it in here, and then you move it into the four corners of the pyramid. Go back and, something is cracking here. So, see, this way you have it anchored, and you have the, something sounded like it cracked. So, okay, what I'm doing now is I'm heating the mandrel, see, and I'm pulling the mandrel out. Now that mandrel is gone, and I'm adding clear to the other side. I'm going to cut this short a little bit here. And I actually, if you can see this, that the core of the original black square is like deep inside there, so I don't have to add that much clear, because I can just use some of this excess black and white glass. This better last for a long time. I don't want to do this again. You can also use little snip, like if you have lots of short pieces of glass that you don't like, or especially clear, you can just kind of push them down in here or use them up in here. And this bottom part doesn't have to, it's not as straight and usable as the front part, so I can just kind of shove my clear in here. And if you had a torch, I have a mini CC on the concentrator, which you can hear breathe in the background. So if you had a bottle or oxygen, you could really crank up the heat for this and make this go a lot faster. The most important thing is that you get the corners. If you don't get the corners covered with the clear, it's just going to pull into a round. So whatever your shape you have and you want to pull, get the defining corners of that shape and tie them into the clear cap. Once in a while, give some heat here. I don't know whether you just heard it crack, but you don't want to neglect this area here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, this is painfully slow. Are you bored yet? This is when the kids in the car ask, are we there yet? We're almost there. I just put this on the corner, push it towards the center, keep the heat here. It's actually some of the clear down here is breaking off. That's okay.
All right. You got your 5 minutes.
Good, my arms are tired.
The machines return to Gaia. The color grips the sky. The not holding over and paralyzes them.
Okay, I got one more corner here.
From the eternal sea rises.
Oops, some of that black just broke off there. Just got tired, got cold. So, see this little piece sticking over here? So I just heat it up and just as long as it keeps away from the white here. There we go. I actually have to add a little bit of black in this corner here where it broke off. So lesson learned is like, don't think just because you get your murrini finished in here that you can neglect it, especially the corners.
It's impossible. That's what they told you.
Okay.
You're not allowed to try to see wrong. You kill it while it slumbers in the moon.
Just keep it away from the white. And reshape the corner.
That's it. You have to die, Mr. Thorne. You must act now. We're all will be lost. Go to the town and bring it to.
Okay, I'm not sure whether I have a second borosilicate rod, whatever this is here. Let's see, maybe there's a little bit more power in my torch.
I want to see or hear from you ever again. You see me in hell, Mr. Thorne.
You can make this type of murrini smaller, actually. Definitely can make it smaller. Oops. That was my borosilicate rod that broke off here. Or maybe it wasn't borosilicate. Doesn't matter. Just melt it back in. This is chances are this is going to happen to you sooner or later. This is breaking off. This is very real life here. As long as when you melt your panties back, you want to be in the center of that pyramid. Anchor it. And this pyramid up here is very badly shaped, but it will do. It will do as long as the murrini itself is kind of suspended and the corners are covered with the clear. Not covered, but the clear reaches into the corners. So now I'm going to, for heating this, you want to focus the heat on this one side of the murrini at a time. And flip it over and heat the other side. And the other side. So you never rotate this in the flame, you flip. And you also want to have some kind of marver or something that you can actually, I'm going to put this here, that you can reshape this. You can put it down and push it down to keep that square. The surface that you're going to push down on the marver will cool off, but the heat goes in the core and stays there for a long time. So once in a while it's actually good to cool off your surface and let the heat sink into the core. Also, when your sides get too soft, they will start to droop, so you can hold it sideways and shoot heat up into this pyramid. That will give heat on the inside of your murrini. So you heat it like this, and then, oh, my panty is too long. Change sides. And don't try to really get the heat through the pyramid into the core of the murrini, and don't heat the panty itself too much. It's especially if it's not metal or borosilicate, because then the punty will start wobbling. So you want to shoot the heat inside the murrini like this. And this can take quite a while. So most important thing is not to rotate, and maybe cooling it off once in a while to keep the sides. And remember that the heat goes on the inside. So when you cool it off like this, you're not cooling off the entire thing.
How's the therapy coming?
Can you tell?
So at this point you would probably want to fast forward. I want to fast forward if possible. But it's pretty much the same from now on, and this can probably take me another 10-15 minutes just to get this big blob of glass evenly heated while preserving the square shape. That's the most important thing. Keep an eye on what's happening there, because the white glass is very likely to get droopy very quickly. It's like the camera is in the way, I can't get inside. Heating it sideways like this will keep the punty warm, but again, don't get too much heat on the punty. Oh, I can't wait to pull this out. This is taking a lot of time. Always one side at a time. Flatten and heat. What you can do in order to test how hot you are is kind of push your punties together and pull apart. Push and pull and see whether anything in that center is moving. That's a good indication that you're heating properly. At this point, nothing is moving. It's very cold on the inside there, so I try to give some more heat inside. I have all kinds of stuff here, and my borosilicate punty is really long. It's much longer than I would want it. So actually, having said that, I'm going to rest my thing and I'm going to cut it off here. So now my punty is much, now when I move it like this, it doesn't hit my stringer collection. That's part of the same with this thing here. This is too long too. I always like it when the punties actually come out at the end here, you know, when they go beyond my hand. I don't like to have them end on the inside of my hand. I don't know why. It's just more comfortable.
Do you believe? Mr. Thorne, Mother is really
See, I'm heating this, but it's still a square. I haven't rounded this out yet, so it'll...
We need this child.
This is my magic marker here that I'm using, which is not being manufactured anymore, but you can actually just get a piece of graphite plate at, you know, most suppliers have that, or even, you know, just on the internet, graphite plate, and then build yourself, you know, get a glass or a cup and just put it on top, or just be creative, you know, to get it to the right heights. I mean, this is perfect here. I don't have to go down very far. Okay, push and pull here, nothing is moving, so, see that. So it's shooting the heat on the inside. Wow, I bet if you have never seen a murrini made, and this is a simple version of a murrini, you have more respect for beads that have these in them. Not just a little stupid piece of checkerboard. I mean, they are, but it takes quite a bit of effort and sweat and glass to get there. Heat one side, flip over. Never rotate this kind of murrini in the flame. One of the things I like about this movie is like it makes me really glad I don't have children. That can't happen to me. Okay, when I push pull, the only thing that moves is the panty. So I'm by far not ready to pull this thing out.
That's the biggest worry at the moment. She's pregnant. I'm afraid not. She wants the child.
Yes.
Once in a while I have to remind myself to put my elbows on the table and not have my shoulders up in the air, because that it's very hard on your shoulders if you keep both your hands in the air and holding something this heavy. So I'm going to pull this out earlier than I would if I would be doing this for myself, because I'm actually kind of getting tired of doing this. So see, you want to make sure that when you pull, well, I'm not pulling yet, but if your punches get this skinny and long, then your whole effort was in vain, because all that's going to happen is that the punch is going to pull, and whatever you have made in the middle is going to sit there like a big juicy blob. But it's pulling actually kind of naturally now. So I'm heating it. See, this is getting longer, and I'm heating it as I pull. I'm not sure this is the stylish way to do it, but this works for me. The ends are always going to be thicker here. That's the fabled dog bone effect, and that's part of the reason why you have those that clear there, because in the thickest part of the dog bone you don't have the design, you have the clear. Okay, I'm going to pull this now because I'm going to have a lot of waste, but I'm going to pull really, really strongly. And I'm out of the picture here. Oh, God. See, I have a lot left here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to pull more from that. I'm going to cut it off here where I still can use it, the way it is. And let that, try not to burn too much around me. And then I keep this one here warm. And some of these thicker slices you can actually use if you cut them with the saw, and not with a nipper. You actually have to use like a little circular saw. Okay, listen here. So this is obviously not borosilicate, so keep this warm. And punty up here, and then you can warm this up and pull out some more. Again, I don't know whether professional murrini makers would approve of this, but this was kind of, I was really getting bored doing this.
What's his history?
But it's still pretty square. I'm going to show you here.
Which is why I started digging.
The coroner's report showed that Brennan was riddled with cancer. He was high on morphine most of the
Oh,
time.
yeah, I didn't wait. Didn't wait quite long enough here, but you know, you never know. You can do something with this. Maybe try some more.
No, 8 years to Foxhole.
You see that it's square. See, it pulled out square. It's not around.
Apart from one small item here on the inside of the left thigh.
What is it?
3 6. 660.
A tattoo.
The biopsy showed that was a birthmark.
I bet somebody who makes a lot of murrini is just going to laugh watching this, but hey, it works,
That's yet to come.
at least to a certain degree. See, even if this hole is kind of lumpy, it doesn't matter, because if you cut each part into a slice, you know, it's not lumpy. It's just each slice is perfect. You're not looking at this as a cane that you use for anything. And if you want to do something in a specific shape, you know, you don't want it to become round, then you have to work cooler, because the harder you make this, the more it will turn into a round shape. So, you know, it's a trade-off. If you want to have a certain shape, you have to heat very gently, and then you probably lose a little bit more. That was it. Thank you.